Hello and welcome everyone. So in this session, we are going to discuss about the concepts of rows and column in Excel. Okay, it's very important because it will help you in performing the formattings in Excel. How you're going to arrange your cells, how you're going to arrange your data. That's why we must need to know how these rows and column actually works. Okay, so if you see this sheet, we have this one A, B, C, D. These are known as columns in Excel. Okay, so if I click on D, not like this. Okay, so click on the D on the top of the name D. So this D column is selected. Okay, like this. Okay, so similarly, you can select F column, you can select G column, you can even select multiple columns accordingly. Okay, if you want to select multiple column, you can select from here, and like that you can select all the column. We never select the column like this. Okay, we never select columns like this. If you have to select a column like C, D, E, F, I want to select, then we can select from B on the top and we can move it. Like that we have a column. Similar to that, we have a row like 1, 2, 3, 4. These are rows number. Then we can click on the row. Example, if I click on this one row, let's say row number 13th. So I can select and I can click. So this will a column and a row where it will work. Now how these column and rows are actually working. It's like if I have to work on that. Okay, so assume that I have a data. Suppose I just bring some data here, copy, come back and paste. Okay, now I have data, but if you can see that the name, age, father's name, address, what I want to display is not properly visible. So if you have to make it visible, okay, in that case, you can move your mouse cursor, not here. You can see this perpendicular, that arrow goes down, not this one. This is for selection. When you see this arrow, black arrow, then this is for selection. So you can move your mouse to middle of the column between F and G, because I want to resize the column number, column name F. So I can click between G and F like that. When you can see this cross arrow, horizontal arrows, hold your mouse, left click, hold your mouse, left click, hold it, and slowly you can drag and see how much of width you want. Similar to that, I can resize my G column for the age. Similar to that, I can resize the father's name and husband columns. And like that, I can select this age column if you have to do it manually. If you have to do it manually, then we can perform it like this, resizing the column. Similar to that, if you have to resize the column, rows, then you can select the between 3 and 4, resize it, between 4 and 5, resize it, between 5 and 6, resize it. Like that, if you want to do it manually, you can perform this resizing of columns and rows in that way. But suppose if you want to make it a little bit automatic, faster, okay, then assume that suppose I have this data like the same like earlier and it is not properly. So if suppose I have to do it manually, then as it we discussed, we can make it like that. But I do not want to do it manually one by one. I want to do it manually, but all together. In that case, you can select the column name F. As I told you, you can select multiple columns where you want to resize. Let's say I want to select resize column name F, G, H, and I, because I have a data in those columns. Now, anywhere in between the two column name like F and G, G or H, H or I, anywhere between the two column, you can see this parallel, that's this horizontal arrows. Okay, just use double click and it will automatic fit according to the content. You can see according to the content, that content is very less here. Okay, only few numbers are there. So whatever the in any cell wherever we have a highest number of range of letters, okay, largest letters range, that can be resized accordingly, like here. Even you can see this one. Okay, similar to that, if suppose I want this much of width only, I do not want to give address more width, but if you can see that here I cannot be able to see it properly. The data is going to column J, it's displayed like that, but actually it's nothing in column J. The only it's view, because when you print it, it will come same. So I want print also to display same to same, like in column number I, not in J. So what we can do, we can select all the rows like this together, because I do not want to do manually one by one. Just assume that you have thousands of data. Okay, you have thousands of data, and thousands of data you want to arrange it. So manually, if you keep on resizing, it will take enough amount of time. So better option, you can select all the rows, row number, and again in between any two row number like 2 and 3, 4 and 5, just simply double click and it will resize, or manually you can resize it manually like this. Now when you do manually, it will give you a equal, you can say row height, equal row height. Now here you can see data is still not displayed. So we can select the option and we can do wrap text. So it will fit into this cell. Like that, all the rows and all the columns you can adjust manually. Little bit you can do it manually. If some cell you really feel it's very, very less, then only few cells you have to adjust. Other cells looks fine. So this is like if you want to do it manually. But suppose I have a data, suppose example, let's say location 1, okay? And like that, I will write location 2, location 3, and we have multiple locations to copy. Example, multiple locations to have to form it. Then in that case, if I will do it one by one, then it will take time. So one option you can select and you can make it double click, and you can see it will fix according to equal this one. But even if suppose you want to more equal, then select all the name and slowly you can drag. Okay, now it will give them an equal width between the column name. So if you want to resize the column width, you can select like this. Okay, manually you can resize, and automatically means double click you can resize. Same case if you have to go with the rows, then double click, rows will be adjusted according to the height. Okay, or if you want equal height between the rows, then just manually drag it little bit you can drag. All the rows will have an equal height. Fine. So this is how the column and row works in Excel. So I hope you understand the concept of rows and column. See you next with some new topics. Thank you.